Okay, so welcome back guys, and let's continue with our application. So in this video we have to put a listener inside our own move here. So down here we need to listen if the game has finished and then show who's the winner. So for that, let's go back inside our game provider, and then let's create a method down here. For the just after this last method here, we can put it here. So here let's give it as a let's name it as game over dialog. Game over dialog. So let's create this method. It's going to be a void method. And then we can say, give it a name as game over dialog, like that. And then let's give it some required arguments. So let's have a required build context, and then let's also have a required boolean to check if it's it was a timeout or what. So let's have a timeout, and then also let's check who's won. So bool, let's give this as a white one, and then let's also give it the required argument of the function, which is of course on new game. Okay, so let's just reformat this. Sorry, I can remove that and then just bring all this down here so that we can see them. Okay, so now first thing in this method, let's create initialize some variables here. We should have a string of results. Let's say results to show, which will be an empty string for now. And then let's also have an int of white scores. Let's white scores to show. Let's put it like that. So this will be initialized at 0. And then let's have another one, int black scores scores to show. We initialize this as 0 as well. What else? This one, let's write it correctly like that. Okay, so I think that's all for the variables that we need. And then here, so first let's check if it's a timeout. So check if it's a timeout, like that. So let's check if it's timeout. So if it is a timeout, we need to show the results according to whose time has finished. And then is in the else, which means it's not a timeout. Not a timeout. We check who has won here. So here, if it's a timeout, let's have some checks. So what we can do here is let's create, I think, a method to determine. Maybe down here, let's create a method called get results. Get results to show. Let's give it a name like this. And then in this method, let's take a required bool of white one, like that. And then here let's just check here. So this method, let's return a string here. Okay, let's return a string here. So here let's just check if white one, let's return a string called white one on time. Okay, maybe something like this. And then in the else, let's return another string which says black one on time, like that. So let's correct this, white one on time. Okay, so this is just what we are returning here. And then let's now use it here. So here we will say get result, our method get results to it says, what is our method? Get results to show. And then we are taking this white one here, and then this one we are initializing it to, we are giving it to that variable up there. Let me go back to this variable result to show. Okay, so the results to show, we are checking who has won inside here. If white one is true, then the result to show will show depending on white one. Okay, so that's how we will get that. And then now if white won, which means we need to increment the results for white. So this score, we need to put a white score incremented by 1. Okay, so first of all, let's create some variables on top for white scores so that we can update these. Okay, so let's go back on top here, and then maybe down here let's have an int white score. Let's name it as white score. We initialize this to 0. Let's have another one, int black score. Let's initialize this to 0 as well. Let's just have getters for those. So we have int get white score, which will return our white score. Then another one, int get black score. This will return our black score. So that's it for this. So this should be black score like that. Let's just correct that. Okay, so just like that, and then let's come down here. So now here we need to increment those. So let's get that score on top there. We're going to say blacks, so here first of all we are checking if it's timeout, and then we are returning the correct time, the correct winner. So now let's check according to this who has won, or we can check what's inside here, or we can just check direct here. If again we are going to check if white has won. If let's check again, if white won, we're going to increment white's time. In the else, let's remove that. In the else, we are going to increment black's time. So maybe we should have even done this method, because we can just put this directly to here. So let's just do that. So let's copy this, and then instead of doing this method here, let's just do it inside here. Result to show, it will be equal to this. So result to show will be white has won. So let's remove this. I don't think we need it. Then let's copy this as well, and then here, if black has won, you can just say result to show, result to show will be equals to this string. Okay, and then now here we know that if white has won, what we are going to do is increment white score, which is going to be that white score on top, and then we'll increment it by 1. Okay, we just increment that white score by 1, which now after we do this, this will be equal to, or we can do this, or we can just do +1 like that. Okay, and then this will be now equal to white score here, white scores to show. Okay, and then now this is what we are going to show. Let's put an equal sign there. Okay, so white scores to show will be the white score which is on top +1, because white has won. So we are going to do the same also here. This will be black scores to show will be equal to black scores +1. Okay, so that's how we're going to do this if it's a timeout. So if it's a timeout, first we are checking who has won. So let's just put this here, check who has won, and increment the results accordingly. Okay, okay, so that's what happens here. We check who has won, and then if it's white, we'll show that white does this text here will be white has won, and then this result to show is going to be +1, else this will happen. So that's all that we can do in the timeout. Now let's move on to the other method. So this method, we don't actually need it. I can just comment it out, and then down here, let's continue. So here we know that it's not a timeout, but at this stage, once we are in the game over listener, we know that the game is over. Somewhere before here, we are checking if the game is over. Okay, which is inside the game screen here. After we check, that's when we come to this method. So here we know that the game is over. So what we are going to do to get this result to show for this side where it's not a timeout, we are going to say game dot result dot readable. Okay, so we need to have a now check here, because the game dot result can be now, because sometimes the game may not be over, but here we know that it's over. So we are going to put a now check here. So this is coming from our package. If we hold Control and press here to be command on the Mac, it will take us to this method. Okay, this method is in the package. So this method checks for the result of the game if now the game has not ended yet. Okay, so also now when we come back to the provider, this readable is just this readable which checks the readable string. Okay, so there is a score string which returns the scores, and then there is also the score string for the drawn game. All these methods, you can go through this package, everything is there. Okay, so let me close it. So that's how we get the result which is readable depending on who has won. So this result now we are going to equal it to this, our results to show, because we want to show it. Results to show is going to be the results of the game. Okay, so okay, now that is out of the way, now we need to check. We know the game is over, but we have to check if it was a draw, if it was a stalemate, or one person has won. So first let's check if it's a draw. So we say game dot drawn. So this is also the method inside this package. So if game dot is drawn, we are going to do our code here. So this means that the game is drawn. So let's just put a comment, game is a draw. So what we are going to do here, so here we need to get the results of the draw. If we want, we know that in chess the draw is it's a half. Okay, like this, a 1 slash, where is my slash, like it's like this, and then so this will be the result of the draw. It's a half. Okay, if we go here to the drawn game, let's go where we are getting the results. So let me close that, then go to the result here, and then go here. Actually not here, it's readable results. Here you can see this is the drawn result, half. Okay, but we can just put this like in our code direct and add it to the results, but we can do that, or we can just get from the result. So in this case, let's just get from the result. Okay, so what we'll do here, let's create a string, because you know that the results, it's returning this O string for white. So you know that this side is for white and then this side is for black. Okay, so let's get this O string here. We are getting a string. So first we just want a whites let's say whites results. Okay, so this is going to be equals to game dot result dot score string, which is exactly taking us to this score string. Okay, so game dot result dot score string. Now that score string, we are going to split it. Okay, so first let's add a now check here, because this may not be there, or it might be there. So here we must add a now check dot score string dot split. Now here, remember we are splitting on the hyphen here. Let's put that hyphen, this one, dot split, and then we are getting the first index. Okay, so let's go back. So we are getting all of this result, but we are splitting at the middle here, and then we are getting the first result. Okay, yeah. Now we are getting this first result. Let me remove this. So this is the first, this is the last. Okay, if we are splitting between this. Okay, so now let me go back. Let's close this. So that's how we are getting the white result. And of course, as you may have guessed, for black we can just copy this, paste it here, and then let's get black's result, which will be equals to this same result, and then instead of first we are getting last. Okay, last. That's how we are getting black's result. Now, since we have gotten the result for white and for black, let's put them to show here, white's results to show and black's results to show. So here we are going to say white results to show. This will be equal to our current white results, which you know, the one that we have created on top, current white score, and then this we are going now to add what we have gotten as a result. Okay, is plus equals int, because remember this is a string here, that's what we are getting here. So we say int dot pass this white result. Okay, and now we have these results to show. This is the results that we will show on our dialog. And then of course for black we will do the same. Let's copy that and paste it here. So here we will say black's results to show, and then here of course is going to be black's score, and then here it's going to be this. Okay, so if the game is drawn, this is what we would do. Okay, and then now let's go on ahead and check the other checks. So next let's check if the winner of the game is white, or we can check if the game is stalemate or something like that. So let's do else if. Here let's check if game dot winner is equal to 0. You know that 0 is white and then black is 1. Okay, so this means white is the winner, meaning white is the winner. So if white is the winner, of course you know what we are doing. We are getting the results, same thing that we are doing here, and then we are setting the results to, we are just going to increment that with our result, because we know if white is the winner is going to have 1 here. So it's exactly the same thing. Let's copy this and then paste it here. So here else if white is the winner, we'll do this, and then again else if winner game dot winner is equals to 1, which means black is the winner. What's going to happen here? So meaning black is the winner. Of course it's the same thing. Let's just copy all of this, paste it, and then let's remove this one for white. Okay, so that's it. And then the else, we're just gonna check if it's a, which means it's a stalemate. Or also we can do else if game dot stalemate. Okay, so here what we are going to do is the same. So white scores, so now this one, it's just going to be equals to white score, because for stalemate we are not going to increment the scores. So again, white scores mean black scores to show will be equals to black scores to show. So these are the getters that we have created on top. So we can go on here, we can now check if it is drawn by repetition, but anyway, those will be dragged here, drawn by repetition. So I think for now these three are valid, to check if white has one, to check if black has one, to check if white has one, to check if it's a stalemate. Okay, so now let's continue down here. So after we have done these checks, now it's time to show the dialog. Okay, so outside the if statement here, seen there is a if timeout, and then there is a else. Now outside here we need to show the dialog, because now we have gotten the scores to show, and also we have gotten the results to show, these things that we'll use in our dialog. Okay, so let's say show dialog, this one, then let's bring it down here, and then we don't want it to be dismissible, so let's say barrier dismissible to false. Then let's create a builder here. We have context, and then here it's going to be an alert dialog, this one. So for the title, let's give it as a string. Let's start with a game over, and then let's put the results in the next line. So we are going to have a hash like this, like this, and an n, a slash like this, which takes this to next line, and then we put the space, and then also now the $sign. And then let's show the results for white's results to show, and then let's have a space and a hyphen, and then let's show the results for black's results to show. Okay, so this is going to be our title. Let's just put an alignment here. So let's say text align, or to put an alignment we have to say text align. So this needs to be in a string, a text widget. So let me cut this and then put the text widget there, and then put them inside. Then now I can put the alignment. So I'll say text align dot center. So I'm just gonna bring it down here. That's it for the title, and then let's move on. The next thing is content. So for the content, let's now have the that results to show. So it's also going to be inside the text widget. Then we'll put the results to show there. We can remove this key in front. So results to show, what else? Let's also put the alignment as well. Text align dot center, text align dot center, and then what else? I think that's it also for the content. And then next, let's have some actions. So for the actions, first let's close it up down here. Then we can put a comma also here. Then let's go inside the actions. So for the actions, first let's put the text button for the cancel. So this is going to be a function, and then so here first let's pop this dialog. So we say navigator dot pop, and then context. Then after we pop it, so if we cancel, maybe let's navigate to the home screen. We restart it. Okay, so navigate to home screen. So let's say navigator dot push and remove until we want to remove all routes. We just restart it, and then here on the new route we say constant dot home screen. Okay, that's our route, and then here we just say force like that. So why are we having this error here? Let's see, did we import this? So we need to say push name and remove until, yeah, this one. Okay, so that's how we navigate to home screen. And then child here, let's have a constant of a text widget, which just say cancel. So we can give it a style as well, just to show that it's a cancel button. We give it a red color, which comes from text style, and then color, we get colors dot red. I think that's it. That's it for the cancel button. Then next we'll get the other button, which says maybe new game. So just after this, let's come down. I've copied that and paste the other one. So this one for now, let's just pop the context. Yeah, for now maybe let's just pop the context. Otherwise we have to reset the game here. We need to put the method to reset the game. Okay, but now we are just popping the context, and then this, let's say new game. Then we can remove the styling, and then that's it. So I think that's about it for our dialog. Now next is to just call it now. Okay, so let's do that in the next video.